of Geekin and Drinking. I'm joined by my brother Steven. And
how's it going?
As always, Eddie. And we are Geekin and Drinking, of course. And what's Geekin and Drinking, you ask? It's a show where we geek and drink. Pretty much.
Well, want to know what we're drinking? Something good as beer is what we drink. So we always try to feature something a little different. And
so last episode, we started October early this year.
Yeah, we did. We started off with 2 beers. Well, right? 2 beers?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you haven't catch our last episode, episode 28, make sure to catch that. It's in 2 volumes, and if you watch the show, you understand why it's in 2 volumes.
And when I say we start October early, because we started featuring Oktoberfest, and we're going to be featuring more Oktoberfest beers from Texas breweries and other breweries. A few other ones out of state, but majority Texas breweries that release their Oktoberfest. We're drinking those all the way up until October because, it's one of our favorite times of year, not only for beer, but just, in general. I don't know about you. I love fall. I love Halloween. I love the spookiness, all the horror movies. I just love it. And, we have a horror movie night every single year. It's awesome. And like I said, we want to start October early this year. And
I don't know about anybody else, but some people love Christmas. Some people love their birthdays. I love my birthday too, but
it's all about October.
Oktoberfest always begins a little early, so it's not technically just in October because obviously we're in August still right now. But like Eddie said, yes, it's pretty much our favorite time of the beer season, as I like to say. I just love Oktoberfest. When it comes to seasonal beers, I really do just love Oktoberfest. So,
we have a very, very special episode for you guys today. Not only because we have a stacked show. Obviously, if you look in front of us, we have a bunch of Star Wars stuff. So what we're going to be talking about heavily today. So, but not only is it's special for that reason, it's also special because the day this episode or around the time this episode is released marks the exact year our first episode was released. And with that, on our first episode...
Our very first episode.
Yeah, very first episode.
Was around Oktoberfest.
Yeah, we featured a beer. It was the very first beer, like I said, on Geekin and Drinking. And we thought it would be, just perfect just to, come full circle again and release... and feature the same beer we did in our first episode. So with that, we were drinking OktoberFiesta from Freetail. And if you have not tried it, go try it. What are you waiting for? It's probably one of the best Oktoberfest beers I've ever tasted, and I love Freetail's beer. Huge shout out to them. We've been drinking their beers, like I said, since the first episode. So, oh my God, my glass has a chip in it.
Oh no!
Sorry. Special Geeky and Drinking glasses, but yeah, guys. Like I said, it's been a year since we've started doing this podcast show, what have you. It's been a pretty fun year. We've gone from sitting at my table in my apartment with just a 6-pack in front of us and screaming at the microphone to actually getting mics, getting a recorder, and getting a better little setup going on here.
And sitting at my table at my house.
Yeah, it's a little hotter, but it's more spacious. We've had the privilege of joining, visiting several breweries, not only here in San Antonio, but in Austin and in Taylor. I always get it confused. Taylor. So here's to another year.
Unfortunately, when we first started this, it was 3 of us. Matt could not be here today, but he is with us in spirit, and this is also for him too. So
also Ernest.
Cheers, and to our new member Ernest.
Tastes just like it did the first time. But like I said, it's been a pretty exciting year. We've met some incredible people. We try to spend a lot of our time trying to get our name out there, which in some aspect we have. But, like I said, we've only reached 1 year. So we have another year we're going to keep doing this. Just stay tuned and, what we have in store for the new year as far as the show. So, but like I said, we are here, episode 29. stacked show. We have a lot of stuff to get to. For those of you who don't know, last weekend I believe was the D23. It was D23. Convention. So all the stuff that was kind of like not all the stuff, but big stuff that was kind of released last weekend. We're gonna be talking about in the show, along with some other things. So, but one of the main things we got to get to, because when the news broke about this, we did not record an episode that week, and it was everywhere. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard it.
Just kind of before we get to that real quick, because I know one of the topics that we do have on here could just be thrown out real quick, because I know I do want to get into a little detail, not too big of a detail of what you're going to bring up, but just a little bit. But yeah, so like Eddie was going to say, week from before we didn't get to shoot an episode, and during that week we got some big heavy news, some sad, some sort of exciting, I guess, depending on how you feel about it. But so one of the things that did drop was there's going to be a new Matrix movie. How do you feel about that? Did you ever? I mean, I seen all the Matrix movies in theaters. Did you ever go see them in theater?
I saw the first one and this half the second one, and then it lost me. I was it got just super weird, and I heard from the third one just gets even more bonkers. Not to mention that like the two main characters, did, spoilers, die, and but which is weird because with this new announcement we are getting a return of those two characters, which is
Neo and Trinity.
Keanu Reeves and what's her name?
Damn it! Don't ask me.
I forgot her name.
I do know that she does come out in Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf, with the LaBeouf.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So
and she was also in a couple of the Marvel series as well.
Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yeah,
there
as the lawyer.
That's her name. Yep. Got it. Nailed it. Schmodown. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't. It's cool. It's just
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. Like, it's something real quick that we could just kind of talk about. But I mean, yeah, because I mean, look, dude, what I loved about the first one was, obviously the fighting in the action, and it was the first time that we've ever seen that type of slow-mo effect in movies. You know, which got really heavily used in other movies as well. But like almost every kind of comedy, like parody. That one dodging of the bullets, especially Scary Movie exploiting that.
Yeah.
Very heavily in their movie. And and that's what was really good and what we really loved about the first one. So the way the first one ends, obviously we knew that we were going to get a second one, let alone two more.
Honestly, I could have done without a sequel. It's like I thought it ended fine.
I could have too, and
like he's the one. Okay, good, done. Like,
but the other two really explored where they came from or where they lived, as far as like the city. I forgot what the city was called.
Matrix City.
Yeah, Matrix City. And then just all the other humans that are still in existence in the. What I guess is what the machine world, I guess you can say, or whatever, and and then obviously the Matrix and stuff. But I mean, there was just way too much, and then
all I remember
way too much going on that I just like, what, I'm just gonna be here for the action. I don't even know what's going on in the story.
Wasn't even that like wasn't the action kind of like because I know that there's that one scene which when I was younger I really liked. Now I go back and watch, I'm like, okay, this is kind of bad. Is that I think it's in the second one where Neo fights a bunch of the what's it?
Agent Smiths
in that little basketball
Yeah.
playground type of thing. Like when I first saw it when I was younger, I was like, oh, this is badass. I was like, oh, hell yeah.
And then you see it again, it's like,
I'm like, oh god, this looks terrible.
what the and then the third one didn't do any justice.
Weren't they released in the same year?
No, yeah.
I think they
I mean,
were.
I knew they were. Yes, you're right. Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions, 2003.
Matrix Reboot.
Boom.
Matrix
Yes.
Reboot.
And now you guys can call this one the Matrix Reboot, but yeah, it's gonna have Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne
Moss.
Moss. And so yeah, I mean, there
Like I
you go.
said,
There's that one.
I think
So
I think like that. I mean, that's. I mean, if you're a fan of the franchise, cool. You're pretty excited. If you're a fan of Keanu Reeves, I mean, well, way to, good for him on kind of going back and revisiting that role that kind of made him a household name.
Cool for him, but I mean, with the success that he's been having lately, especially with the John Wick movies and his cameo in Always Be My Maybe,
The Cyberpunk,
and then the Cyberpunk 2077. I just really hope this doesn't kind of like, you know, bring his success down just a tad.
You know what they
or
should
something.
do? You know how usually they. 'Cause I know there was a second one, but
I mean, I could do with the Keanu Reeves cameo, maybe just not full Keanu Reeves in the movie.
I was gonna say, 'cause I know they made a second movie to it. I never seen it, but usually now they kind of backtrack and they're like, oh, ignore the sequels. This is a sequel to the original one. They should make a sequel to Speed.
They did.
That's what I'm saying, but ignore
the second one
Yeah.
because it didn't even have Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bring back Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves and make Speed again. It'd be awesome. But I think the reason that, like I said, that kind of news really blow over, or, I wouldn't say nobody cared about it, but it was just kind of
right now it's kind of in the meh mode right
and
now.
mainly because like
it's just in talks. I mean,
well, I'm saying like the news in general, people weren't talking about it because it was overshadowed by another thing that broke that same day, which was, I mean, like I said,
I think this one broke before it because I saw this what you're about to bring up before the Matrix.
well, like I said, okay, what we're talking about, obviously, if you guys watching and you're tuned into everything that's going on, and like I said, if you're a fan of all the Marvel movies or anything like that, you probably already know. It's kind of out there that Spider-Man is not going to be returning to the MCU. Sony and Disney could not come to terms on on a new agreement. They couldn't I guess agree on how they were going to go about it as far as
Which sucks
financial
because
purposes.
which sucks because Sony was already threatening to take Spider-Man away if it didn't reach $1 billion worldwide,
And it did,
and
like-
it did. So everyone's like, oh yes, now they're gonna do it. It's happening. And then almost like what, a week, 2 weeks later,
Yeah, about 2 weeks later,
it was just like boom.
See, the thing is, when the news came out, it was like he said, she said, or like they're both pointing the fingers. Well, mainly it was Sony, pointing the finger at Disney, and at the same time, but everybody was like, oh, well, Sony fucked this up, But that's how I was at first. I was like, oh, Sony just fucked this up. They dropped the ball, and they're just gonna ruin it.
Even with everything that's been coming to light, Sony still fucked this up.
But like I said, you have to look at it on both sides, both sides of it, because
Dude, just let Disney have it, all right? Just say F it. Take your losses, and just let Disney have it. I mean, you're obviously not even getting anything from any of the merchandise, any of the animated stuff, and you're only just getting off the box office.
95%.
And not only that, but you have not had a successful Spider-Man movie since the first Spider-Man came out. Because and I say that because when the first Spider-Man came out, everyone was excited, and that kind of like almost broke records, So, and after that, there was really not much success, and then people still have not forgiven Sony for the turd that was Spider-Man 3. So,
which I saw recently.
which you tortured yourself in watching.
It's terrible. So okay, so let's give a quick rundown of what exactly is kind of going on, and I definitely so those at home
I'll let you handle the boring
who
stuff.
don't know. Okay, so when was it? Back in 2015-16 when Civil War was coming out, it was big news.
Yeah.
16, big news that Sony and Marvel,
The kickoff for Phase 3.
Sony and Marvel Studios came to an agreement saying that we could use Spider-Man in our films, and Marvel will help produce Spider-Man films for Sony, still being under the Sony banner. So I think the original agreement was for any standalone Spider-Man movie, which was Spider-Man: Homecoming and Spider-Man: Far From Home, Sony got 95% of the box office. So the money they made from ticket sales and box office, all that stuff, Sony got 95%. Disney only took 5% of that. But Disney took all like money from merchandise. All like the Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man merchandise, toys, shirts, what have you, all that stuff. And I mean, and you've had to thought to yourself when that happened, eventually this is going to run its course, and eventually they're going to have to renegotiate the terms of their agreement. He's not going to be in the MCU forever, or not. I shouldn't say he's not going to be in it, but eventually Sony's going to want to take their ball and go home. I think what Disney thought about that, and they made Spider-Man a crucial, they put him in crucial plot points, not only in Civil War,
majorly in Far From Home.
Well, no, I'm not saying like in their movies, in Disney movies, like in Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. Not so much Endgame, but Infinity War, he was a big part in it. So Sony made their two movies, Far From Home and Homecoming, which was co-produced by Disney and Kevin Feige, and they, and like I said, it's really kind of like fucked up when you think about it, because I think Disney knew what they were doing. They're like, oh well, because what two characters stand out in those two movies?
Well, first of all, majorly in both Homecoming and Far From Home, even though after the events of Endgame was still Tony Stark / Iron Man.
And Happy.
And then Happy played heavily in Far From Home. He was present in Homecoming, but he played heavily in Far From Home.
Which are two Disney-owned characters.
And also in Far From Home, and depending on how fans want to see it is, if you want to get real technical or just plain old, just take it as it is, the characters of Nick Fury and Maria Hill also played big into it.
And not only that, but like you mentioned earlier, like his suit was made by Iron Man.
All his suits,
like everything, like it's pretty heavy.
Because the suit that he gets in Civil War, Iron Man. The Iron Spider suit, Iron Man. The new suit that he ends up getting in Far From Home is from Stark Industries, which is still Tony Stark.
So fast forward to about 2 weeks ago, last week, whatever it was.
What are they gonna do? They're gonna put him back in his pajamas again?
It's time for Disney and Marvel. When I say Disney, I'm talking about Marvel Studios, who is owned by Disney. So Disney / Marvel Studios and Sony to come back and let's renegotiate our terms. Disney comes back and says, instead of 5%, we want 50%. But we want to, not only do we want 50% of the box office, we want to help co-finance. So we'll help you make these movies, because these movies aren't cheap. As long as we get 50% back.
Because even at that, Kevin Feige, when he announced before the news broke that Spider-Man was no longer going to be a part of the MCU, Feige made an announcement that because I think there was going to be 3 more, or at least 2 more Spider-Man solos. But I think he was going to appear in 3 more MCU movies, which two Spider-Mans and then another team up MCU movie. But anyways, Feige said, like, hey, the next 2 Spider-Man movies are going to be something that you've never seen before. And that got me excited. I was like, oh, hell yes. Mm-hmm. Finally. And I've been waiting for this even from The Amazing Spider-Man. Like, are we finally going to get the Sinister Six? That's what I have been waiting for the longest time. And they teased that in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And they even teased that in Far From Home, and I was so disappointed when this news broke out.
Well, yeah, okay, so like I said, going back, Disney, said we want 50%, we'll help co-finance, we still get all the merchandise money, and Sony straight up was like, no.
See, and this is where I say this is why I still blame Sony, because Sony's still trying to be big-headed because of the success of 2 of their other movies that had came out last year. Venom was last year or this year?
Yeah, last year.
Last year, which was Venom, which made 856 million. and then Into the Spider-Verse, which only did 375, but was was an Academy Award winner for Best Animation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're trying to hold under the belt. It's like, well, we got these two successful movies. Okay, first of all, Into the Spider-Verse was great. It's amazing. I love it. I love the animation. Awesome. And I've raved to you about it so many times. I was like, dude, we need to go see this in theaters. Because I know you didn't get to see it.
No,
I was like,
I mean, I
like,
did when I was working, but I didn't see
was
the
like,
whole movie.
I was like, you have to. It's so good. I mean, even my son loved it. He was like raving about it. But it still did not have that big moneymaker in it.
Yeah.
Venom, I don't even know how it did it because so many people were criticizing about it, but it did fairly well.
It made money.
But it did not boost Sony's like morale to actually be this big headed to be like, oh well, we could do it on our own, because I guarantee you there's no way they can do it on their own. I'm sorry, they just can't.
They've tried twice and failed. But not only that, but like I
think what's gonna end up happening is they're gonna run into another Andrew Garfield situation where
did he just quit?
Well, he quit, but they were giving him crap because he missed some type of
Promotional.
Yeah, promotion or something like that.
He just didn't show up.
Yeah.
And see, the thing is, like, I think Sony has a plan, for what they want to do with their characters, because they own these Spider-Man characters. Venom, Spider-Man. They own Spider-Man,
and I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but
like always,
they're still borrowing from the MCU, because Venom 2 is also featuring a director that has been in the MCU, which was
Oh, well, that's the second Venom, yeah.
Yeah, the second Venom 2. Just casted a director that has been in the MCU,
Mm-hmm.
which they felt was gonna kind of help and boost the morale a little bit. But
I mean, come on, we're not excited when you heard that.
I mean, I am.
Andy Serkis.
And I still am. I still am. And yeah, Andy Serkis. But
But what I'm saying,
they just can't fall back on that.
What I'm saying is that, like, I think they have a plan of what they wanted to do, or they kind of like they have a direction where they want to go, because it's heavily rumored and kind of been confirmed by some trusted sources that Sony did film a scene with Tom Holland as Spider-Man to put in the Venom movie, but that Kevin Feige and Disney told him, no, you can't put it in there. Don't do it. So they cut the film the scene out.
Yeah, I remember when Venom was coming out, there was a lot of rumors about that there was some type of pinnacle scene with Spider-Man in the
as
Venom
Peter
movie,
Parker.
as Peter Parker,
Yeah.
Tom Holland, just as Peter Parker, not even Spider-Man itself.
Like a small scene, but I said they had to cut it out because Disney, they're daddy. So, yeah, I mean it sucks. Like I said, there's talk that they're still trying to come to figure out some sort of a agreement, because I just don't see it working. Disney backed Sony into a very, very, very dark corner, and if they can't figure out some way to like share this character, Sony's gonna have a hard time trying to get out of that corner, because like I said, their two main Spider-Man movies are MCU heavily influenced,
and they cannot feature a lot of things that
have been set up already,
that have been set up in the MCU as far as the solo Spider-Man movies. So it's going to be really hard and a really big challenge for them. I think at some point, they're just going to have to take it. Just bite the bullet and be like,
just take it,
F
Barry.
it. Just do it. Just do it. Or
they could get back Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and make a live-action Spider-Verse.
That would be cool. But that would take in. That's where they can also help. That's where MCU can also come in and help financially. Hello, because Sony can't afford to do something like that. As much as I would love to see something like that, they cannot afford to do something like that.
Right? You know how much money they have to pay Andrew Garfield, at least him to come back. And not only Tobey Maguire, I'm pretty sure he costs a pretty penny, but Andrew Garfield, because and
then not only that, but not even just for the three main Spider-Mans, but even for their supporting characters. Kristen Dunst for Mary Jane. Sally's Field to come back as that Aunt May.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons. They didn't even feature the Daily. I mean, what's his name? What is the character that he plays? J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh.
They didn't feature Jameson in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Didn't they mention him?
They just mentioned the Daily Bugle.
Oh.
But
So.
they didn't even feature him.
But like I said, I mean, time will tell. You know, when if all this is, if it ever is figured out. Right now, all we can do is just go back and watch the Spider-Man movies. And watch Endgame and Infinity War.
I have been watching Endgame since I've bought that movie. I'm sorry, and even though I just skipped to the really good part, which my favorite part is just the main final battle. I mean, it still gets me every damn time, even with Tom Holland's overacting.
Totally overacting.
Totally, but I love it. He was so awesome. And guys, if you have not gotten Endgame yet, it is out in Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy. Go get it.
VHS.
Watch it over and over and over. It probably is available on VHS. Who knows?
Yeah.
God, I mean, like I said, I've just been obsessed with that movie ever since it came out. My wife's just like, again? I'm like, yes. Can't stop me.
Right. Yes, again.
I'm addicted. So we're going to go ahead and take a little quick break. We'll be right back. And...
I beat Steven to the punch. So we were just talking about our
battle custody between Disney and Sony for Spider-Man. Whatever. It's fuck them. Fuck them. All right. To other breaking news. Nah, I'm just playing. So to go ahead and move on here. I know I interrupt this guy a lot and he gets mad at me about it, but hey, fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. What? You on your period?
Oh my god. Whoa. Sorry, I'm trying to look for something. So we're just talking about Spider-Man and pretty heartbroken, but we got a lot of cool trailers this past week, and especially one that happened 2 days ago. We got the final, quote unquote, final trailer to Joker, not the Joker.
Not the Joker.
Joker. Starring Joaquin Phoenix, Robert De Niro, Zazie Beetz, Mark Maron.
Hey, when you introduce me, as Joker.
Oh, it's so good. So good. If you haven't watched the trailer, go check it out real fast and then come back to this YouTube video or podcast and listen to our discussion about the trailer, because this is probably one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Joker is supposed to be a standalone DC movie that obviously tackles Joker. It's an origin story starring Joaquin Phoenix, and it's been put out there.
Is it really an origin story?
It's considered an origin story.
Okay, I wasn't sure just because of all the other stuff that's been going on, but
So
sorry for interrupting you. Sorry.
It's considered an origin story, and by the looks of it, and like I said, Tom Phillips came out and said, this movie isn't going to follow any existing comic storylines. It's not gonna, which people were kind of rumoring that this is gonna follow the Killing Joke storyline, where obviously we get the backstory of Joker and what drove him mad, which was one bad day, which I really love. If you haven't read the Killing Joke or watched the animated movie, check it out, because it's probably one of the best portrayals of the Joker. Just kind of like I love his monologue of kind of like his one bad day monologue, and it's just. He says, no matter how good you are, no matter how white you are, not skin tone, but
whoa,
like just takes all it takes.
Going into a whole other level, bro.
Just takes just one bad day, and it's like wow, it's pretty powerful. But like I said, this movie is not gonna follow
any type of comic book or
storyline, which
animated storyline.
Which at first I was
or,
like, ooh, like I was like, fans are gonna be kind of weird about this, but good thing that this movie looks amazing because, like, I don't think if this movie had not looked good, I don't think the fact that it's not gonna follow any type of storyline, would have set so well with people. I'm okay with it only because I said it looks amazing and it's kind of ramping up its kind of a award season push. You could just tell like this movie is has shades of being like a Martin Scorsese movie, which kind of fits because his producing partner is a producer on this movie. And to top it all off, it just
and it's got Robert De Niro.
yeah. And to top it all off, it's rated R.
Oh yeah, that was like the big news about it. It was like, oh man, DC actually went for it. They're gonna do this one R rated. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am really excited for this one. I'm excited because it's its own standalone movie. It's its own thing. It's completely fresh, completely new. So you're definitely gonna go into this not having to relate it to anything from DC as far as comics, the cartoons, or anything like that. I mean,
don't expect Batman to show up.
Yeah, this is. I mean, there's gonna be hints of
Wayne.
Of the Waynes in there. I mean, I think Thomas Wayne, the dad, is gonna be in it, and things like that. But I mean, that's just because of the fact that those are just characters
in that world,
in the DC world. But this is just his own thing. I'm super excited for it. I cannot wait for it. You were talking Oscar buzz. I was reading earlier that they're already considering this, probably as like, depending on how it goes and how Joaquin Phoenix portrays Joker, that this could be, a runner-up for, Best Picture of the Year. This can actually, best original screenwrite, best actor. I mean, director. Todd Phillips he's done some like silly stuff. I mean, obviously from Old School, Hangovers 1, 2, and 3. I think he did Starsky and Hutch.
He also did what else did he do? He did
I mean, he's done a lot
Due
of
Date with
Due Date, which that one was kind of like a dark comedy, but it was really funny. I mean, he's done a lot. He's done a lot of stuff, and I mean, to do a movie like this, I mean, he's come a long way. And I mean, I praise him for it. War Dogs. He did War Dogs.
And he's taking it super seriously.
Yeah, and he's taking it real super serious. School for Scoundrels.
Like he's really, really confident in this film that people are gonna so confident that they submitted it to several film festivals. It's like the Venice Film Festival, Cannes.
Which is why they weren't even part of the San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, because they were they're pushing for those critical positive responses, and like I said, hopefully it gets some award buzz. How awesome would it be for two actors to play the Joker to get some sort of award nomination?
And Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight.
Like that, can you imagine like the one? People are always like, oh, superhero movies don't get the love, blah, 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 blah. They've been nominated, whatever, but, the only one that's ever really won, I mean, there's some that won, but like, the one that, like, won the biggest was Heath Ledger as a Joker winning Best Supporting Actor. I think, he was Best Supporting Actor. But still, I mean, like, he won an award. I mean, may he rest in peace, but he won an award for...
And granted, what anyone says that he only won it just because of his passing. No,
dude.
Shut the hell up. He did an amazing job.
He
was one of the best things about The Dark Knight. If not the best thing about The Dark Knight.
If you hadn't known that was Heath Ledger playing the role, you wouldn't have never guessed that was Heath Ledger behind that makeup and that voice.
Yeah.
He completely
and that laugh, man. That laugh.
Like, transformed not only, like, his look, but the way his mannerisms, like, it's
Did you get
so
that?
good.
Did you get that Instagram post I sent you?
The best. Who has the best laugh?
Who has the best Joker laugh?
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go with Mark Hamill.
Thank you. I was going to say the same thing. Mark Hamill, man, oh my God. He's just got that distinctive laugh. And again, like you said, if you have not seen it, The Killing Joke, he repraises his voice as the Joker. And, oh my God. And I think he even admits that that's probably like one of the best things that he's ever done. outside of the Star Wars universe is that
Yeah, because it's
voicing
it's
the Joker.
made him so. I mean, he was the Joker all through the animated series.
Yeah, all through the animated series and
Arkham games.
And Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, and the Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight games.
I think there was only one of the Arkham games that he wasn't.
Oh, was it? Okay.
But
but he still played the voice. Like I said,
just that laugh.
You know what? I really wished. I
really
really wish that he would have played the Joker in the Dark Knight animated movie, because there was someone else who played him, and he was kind of like, he just looked different.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was fine, but I was like, I really wish it was Mark Hamill. But like I said, going back to
even that voice was decent enough. But yes, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie.
He went on and said about that. This is a quote that he gave the LA Times. He says,
"Who is this?"
Todd Phillips about excuse me, drinking beer.
Good.
About getting the movie its R rating. He says, and I quote, "It was a year-long process from when we finished the script just to get the new people on board with this vision, because I pitched it to an entirely different team that made it," Phillips told the LA Times. "There were emails about, you realize we sell Joker pajamas at Target. There are a zillion hurdles, and you just sort of had that to navigate those at one at a time. I would curse them in my head every day, but then I had to put it in my perspective and go, they're pretty bold that they did this." That's his, him talking about trying to convince Warner Brothers that this movie needs to be R-rated, and they're saying well, we sell pajamas at and he's just like, yeah, but god damn it,
Okay, but what does that have to do with anything like pajamas? I mean,
because I guess
but are they freaking kids pajamas that they're trying to talk about? Because I guarantee you, I don't know what kind of parent you would define this as, but I guess the normal parent, the not so, I don't know,
the conservative,
the boring parent.
No.
Would think the Joker, why would they sell a villain for pajamas? Whereas nerds like us would be like, oh dude, Joker, I'm gonna so buy that for my son. Do they have one for me too? We'll be twins.
I mean, I don't know about my son, but I got Joker socks. I mean,
but you know what I'm saying. We would be stoked for something like that. Whereas they're like, where's Batman or Alfred?
Yeah. Alfred. You know what I mean? You know what I need in my life? Some fucking Alfred.
I need some Alfred. I mean, they're getting
Showtime's
coming out with their own show.
Is it called Pennyworth?
I
think they're so they're so woke. Oh, we're gonna have a show about Alfred.
Don't get me started on that word woke.
They're so oh, we're gonna do a show about Alfred, but we're gonna call it by his last name. That's so it's so, oh god, so dumb. But last thing about this movie is that the Joker director pitched a DC Black film label to Warner Brothers. So you know how we have the quote unquote DC EU, which has
that's still alive. I thought Justice League killed that.
Well, I mean, like I said, you have all these movies, even the new Wonder Woman coming out. It's part of that same universe, kind of like the MCU. He kind of pitched that this movie would be part of a different kind of label. Some of them have been calling it DC Dark, DC Black, or something else. Who knows if this is going to be a start of something like that, to where they do one-off films of just completely, not,
which would be cool,
for kids. It would be refreshing.
Depending on how this one goes, I wouldn't mind that.
Wasn't Constantine rated R? Isn't that DC?
That's DC. I don't think it was rated R. Was it? With Keanu Reeves.
Another Keanu Reeves.
That was a good one, though. I don't know why people bashed on it so hard. I mean, I thought it was good. And I never really saw the show, but...
See, but you know what I like about this whole DC kind of black pitch that they're trying to do? Is that, because, I mean, you just like me love the DC animated movies. And some of those are pretty dark.
Dude, to even, talk about dark, I just finished the third season of Young Justice, and like I said, it started off as a kids cartoon and has moved on beyond that. Now that it's on the DC Universe app, it's moved beyond that. I mean, it's Dude, it's Constantine was really hard. And it's real good. I mean, and yeah, so I mean, it's gotten a little bit more violent, a little bit more adultish because now the sidekicks are grown up, and
That's what I'm saying. Like, we could get more of those kind of like edgy kind of cartoon animated movies under that DC Black label. Like,
dude.
like push the bar even further. Like, I love the animated movies, and yeah, they get dark. But I just want them to go even more darker.
I just recently saw the new one, Batman Hush. No, oh my god, it's so good. So
I gotta
good.
watch it. But yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just wanted to say because the way that Batman the animated movies that it follows, I love the connection it has with a lot of them. Like it was part of Justice League War, where that's how the Justice League formed in that particular universe, and then you had like Son of Batman. What was the other one? Flashpoint Paradox.
Mm-hmm.
And Suicide Squad, how all those just connect. I love it. I just love it. It's amazing.
One of my favorite ones is Teen Titans. The Judas, was it?
The Judas Contract.
Judas Contract. Oh, so good.
The other one that's really good is Teen Titans versus Justice League. That one's really good. That one's really good.
Yeah, baby.
So yeah. But yeah.
Check out all these animated movies, dude. They're so good.
And if you haven't yet, I was iffy at it about it at first, but now seeing everything that's coming out with it, everything that they're coming out with, the DC Universe app, I would suggest it's a good investment to get.
Yeah. If you're a big DC person.
If you're a big DC person and you really want to see...
If you want to see these animated shows, the comics...
Movies, all the comics...
I wouldn't say all the live-action movies, though, because they're not all...
No, I'm not saying the live-action movies. I'm saying, like, the animated movies. Yeah. It's got a majority of all the animated movies. It's even got... even though it's only going to be one season, which it's... and I really wish that it didn't end the way it did, but Swamp Thing, and then you got season 2 of both Doom Patrol and Titans coming out, which I'm a little bit more excited for Titans because season 2.
They have that Deathstroke.
Because you got Deathstroke coming out, and then you got Aqualad, you got I forget the dog's name. It's Crypto, and then Superboy. So I'm super excited for that.
So, real quick before we move on to the next topic, if you had to give the audience one DC animated film to watch, like, your recommendation, it had to be one, what would it be? To give it a little more time to think. Okay, you got it.
Justice League Dark, my favorite.
What?
Favorite.
Wow.
Favorite.
If mine, if mine's not either, let's say, Killing Joke, it has to be Under the Red Hood.
Yes, that one's a good one too.
That's such a good one.
But then I also love The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
But again, in connection, like the way I'm saying, in connection to some of the animated movies, Justice League Dark is probably one of my favorites.
That one is pretty violent.
Yeah, and
did they kill kids in that one?
No. It's a mom that's getting ready to at beginning because they're seeing like demons. Mm-hmm. And the mom thinks that the mom spoilers. The mom thinks she gave birth to a demon child, and so she's trying to toss it over a building.
Oh, and they catch it.
And Batman catches it, and then she jumps because of what she was doing.
Yeah. God.
So dark. That's what I said. So dark.
I remember I saw that. I was like, "Whoa, Steven." Okay, so like I said, all the DC stuff, check it out. Joker trailer, check it out. Can't wait for the movie, obviously.
Sticking with the D23.
Oh my god. This D. Real quick, we got a couple of trailers that we want to close the show off with, but before we get to that, before we take our second break, we still have time. This has been a long time waiting, dude. We finally officially, and I really wish this stupid
got Frozen 2. Yeah, I know.
We got the Lady and the Tramp trailer. No,
I still haven't seen it.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's cool.
I like the fact that it's 2 rescue dogs, but whatever. We're not talking about that.
Not gonna go into detail there.
I really wish whatever news outlet, and it's their job, and like I said, like Collider Live said the same thing. They're like, I really wish. I think it was a Hollywood Reporter had not leaked, had not put this out before D23, before the actual announcement that we are finally getting our Obi-Wan series on Disney Plus with Ewan McGregor reprising his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Was it Hollywood Reporter? I thought it was Deadline.
It might have been one of those two, but they had leaked it out. Or they had put it out there, like, I think a day or two before the actual announcement.
It was 2 days before. I remember it was 2 days
before. But, I mean, come on. Like, and I watched the panel, or like when he came out.
I was excited for it, but I was not going to get my hopes up until it was officially announced.
Yeah, because we've had like rumblings before, like, oh, we have a script, or
because it was supposed to be a movie, and I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Stop hating on Solo.
I'm not gonna say it the way people say it. Then Solo came out. No, Solo came out, and people were disappointed with it. Look, there were so many issues going on behind the scenes with Solo. But Solo was a really good and entertaining movie. And you know what? I'm sorry I don't even have it up here.
Go get it. I'm serious. Go get it.
I'm gonna go get it.
And see, the thing is, like, and I'll just test that because when I first saw it, I didn't see it in theaters, and I knew all the backstage, all the behind the scenes drama that was going on,
and the fact that they changed directors.
You haven't got Rogue One up here either. Oh my. Yeah, the whole behind the scenes, drama,
Solo.
Yeah, it kind of like overshadowed the action, and plus the marketing sucked. I didn't see the movie in theaters,
and then they didn't give it its December release. They gave it a May release in between Infinity War and Deadpool 2. Yeah. What the hell?
They really shot themselves in the foot.
That was look. This would have been an awesome movie to go see during the holidays. What's going on? What's out in the theater? Oh, nothing. Oh, wait, there's this new movie called Solo. It's a Star Wars movie. Let's go check it out. Boom. Money made.
Boom. Drop the bomb. No, but like I said, I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on, I read it on Redbox, watched it in the comfort of my own home with a couple beers. I was like, you know what? This isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's fine. And I haven't watched it. So I was like, the other day I was like, after I watched a trailer for another thing we're going to talk about later, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back and watch kind of a fresher Star Wars movie. I mean, I love the original trilogy. I just want to see something a little fresh. And Rogue One wasn't available. So I was like, oh, well, Solo's on Netflix. Let me watch it. Dude, I was just like, I honestly, I really, really like this movie.
I love Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian.
And the thing is, people give Alden Ehrenreich shit about Han Solo. I think he did a great job.
He did an amazing job.
Considering the fact that he's a younger Han Solo. And I could see, like, that character. Yeah, he doesn't look the same.
What the hell we're going to do? We're going to de-age Harrison Ford? I'm sorry, though.
Yeah,
that's not going to work. That is not going to work.
People have said that, why don't you just de-age? I'm like, no. He wouldn't. First of all, he would have not done that. And second of all, like, no.
For a lot of the stuff that was going on in this movie, there's no way it would have worked.
But, okay, we're talking about Solo, but it's talking about
But hold on. One thing I did, my favorite part of Solo is when they're trying to get out of the of that little part, the little part where that space monster,
Kessel,
and then they're like release the.
Release the escape pod.
The escape pods, and then boom, we get the
dude. I was all like,
get what the Millennium Falcon really was.
Because like, yeah, I mean, he's like, release the escape pod, and it comes off. I'm like, I was like, oh my god, like, oh, so it's so good. Like, it's good. I like it. I don't care what you say, internet. I like Solo. It's good. It's refreshing.
And come on, dude. That cameo. That cameo.
I saw that.
Me and my son flipped the F out.
Who cares? Darth Maul comes out in this movie, okay? If you haven't seen Solo, shame on you. Yeah, because like before I saw the movie, unfortunately I got spoiled that Darth Maul comes out. I'm like, oh. So when I saw the movie, I'm like,
I stayed away. I stayed away from it. I heard there was a big thing. I suspected it, but I was still excited, being like, no, it can't happen. It can't happen.
And the thing is,
especially after what everyone has told me about Star Wars Rebels.
So good. So yeah, we do get the Darth Maul cameo in Solo, which was awesome.
And you know what? I'm sorry. But look, one thing that I would not mind if they would want to go back to doing Solo is making it into a series.
Oh, okay.
Because they could follow up into making this into a series after the movie.
Because where does he go after the movie?
He goes to
Say it. Come on.
Oh, yes. Tatooine.
Yes. He says there's a big old gangster gonna do it. I'm like, oh
yeah, and we can follow that, and you don't have to do that into a movie. You could do that into its own series, and bring these.
I mean, yeah, granted, there are a couple of things I don't like. How he got his name, that he could speak. Like, I'm just like, okay, do you really have to do that? But we do get Darth Maul in this movie because Darth Maul is leader of the crime syndicate. One of Darth Maul's enemies, Obi-Wan Kenobi, which, if you've seen Rebels, and spoilers if you have not, I'm sorry, it's on the internet.
It's been spoiled for me.
Obi-Wan does kill Darth Maul on Tatooine. But
Does he though? Does he? I heard that there's just a bright flashlight.
Nah, he stabs the shit out of him. But like, many people are like, I don't know, because Ernest asked me the same thing. He goes, well, that'd be cool if he runs into Darth Maul again. I'm like, well, no, because in Rebels they set it up to where he runs into him, and he hadn't seen them since he cut his fucking legs off.
Yeah.
Like in Phantom Menace. So it just wouldn't make sense. I'm like, but the one thing they could explore in this Obi-Wan series, which I really wish they would do, not only is his I guess his battles with like the gangsters or the bad people on Tatooine as far as Jabba's army, but he could also kind of have some encounters with Darth Vader.
Oh, you can have a lot of encounters with Darth Vader. There's a lot of stuff because in reality he thinks that Anakin died in
and then
Revenge of the
it's
Sith.
said in A New Hope, he goes, Vader's more machine than man now. How the fuck does he know that?
How did he know that? How did he know he became Darth Vader? And even Darth Vader says it himself. You've grown weak since the last time we've met, old man.
Yes.
Like, come on. I mean, there's so much that they could explore.
There's a big old gap there that just needs to be filled by this series.
And it's been officially announced that for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series that it is going to take place 8 years after Revenge of the Sith.
And which kind of goes well with, because it's been a while since the prequels. Ewan McGregor himself has aged, so it's perfect. I'm so glad.
So good.
I kind of wish he would have came out at G20 and be like, he would have said like, hello there.
Hello there.
But we could go about on this for days, but we got more stuff to talk about. Before that, take a quick break, get some more beer, use the restroom. That means we're back from Geekin and Drinking. Steven and Eddie here. And we're drinking OktoberFiesta from Freetail, baby. If you're asking yourself, hey, haven't they featured that on their one episode before? Yeah, because it's been a year later since we released that episode. We've done this for a year, man, and it's been so fun.
Year. So fun. We've met so many good people. Where to begin? Shout out to the Colonel at Ranger Creek.
Shout out to Greg at Alamo.
At Alamo. Josh at Hops and Grain.
Shout out to Sheila.
Shout out to John at Fort Tap. JD.
JD at Texas Beer Co. Shout out to everybody else.
Everybody else. Shout out to everyone who's responded to our posts, letting us feature their beers. Thirsty Planet, Real Ale.
Shout out to Mike
Southern
from
Star.
Busted Sandal.
Mike and Kevin at Busted Sandal.
Like I said,
Moses and Eric also at Busted Sandal too,
yeah.
and then everybody else at Busted Sandal. We love all you guys at every single brewery, and
We've met a lot of incredible people doing this, and we hope to meet even more this next coming year. If you are new to the show, you don't know what's going on, share it with your friends. Anybody who likes the movies, nerdy shit, beer, all this stuff. We talk about all that stuff here. We want to create this little community that it's okay. If you're you're a nerd, you want to talk about this stuff, talk about it. It's fine. Don't be ashamed of this stuff. But yeah, so. We just got through talking about some Spider-Man, talking about some Matrix, talking about the Joker trailer, or should I say the Joker. I can't say the Obi-Wan series finally got announced. Sticking with the Star Wars, because that's the theme of this show today. It's Star Wars, the galaxy far, far, far away.
So many announcements, so many things that came out.
We just rewatched another trailer right now.
Yes,
because we're that excited.
Right in between takes, we watched another trailer.
Where is he at? There he is. I know it's not him.
It's not him,
but he is wearing the Mandalorian armor, and that we watched
I am wearing the Mandalorian.
We watched the
shirt.
Mandalorian trailer, which is a new series coming to Disney Plus November 12th. It's kind of like
it's pretty much like the kickoff for
Yeah.
Disney Plus, and all the original series are going to be coming out.
And dude, what a kickoff! I mean, starring Pedro Pascal from Game of Thrones. He came out in Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
He also came out in Narcos.
Narcos, yeah. Incredible actor. I mean, come on. I mean, a Latino actor. In the Star Wars. Aside from Diego Luna. I mean, come on. Mexicans are ruling the universe. Let's do it.
Latinos, orale way. And this is for you, OktoberFiesta.
Steven's Mexican side's coming out. Well, we just rewatched the trailer.
Well, our family does come from Monterrey, Mexico, so.
That's right, baby. San Miguel. But yeah, we just rewatched the trailer, and we're just as excited because it's right off the bat. You get a darker tone. You get the stormtrooper helmets on spikes. Just kind of like, and you kind of wonder, are there heads under that spikes? Holy shit. Not only that, but
I didn't even think about that. I just thought they were the helmets.
I mean, but like. Not only that, but like the visuals, the special effects,
it's almost like a freaking movie, dude. I mean, like you're almost watching a trailer for a movie.
Honestly, I heard a rumor. I'm not sure how true this is, but I heard like each episode costs like $100 million per episode.
I would not doubt it.
It's a really high budgeted series coming at you from show. I think the first episode was directed and show run by Jon Favreau.
It's been in production for almost 2 years?
Yeah, and they already got greenlit for a second season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's that good.
The trailer was that good.
Yeah. God. There was a couple of, I think it was at Star Wars Celebration, they did release footage, and that footage did get leaked. I know you don't like to watch that stuff. I watched it.
Well, I saw that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So it's like
like where they talked about the behind the scenes and then some of the leak footage.
Yeah. I watched that whole scene.
Jon Favreau was on it.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the actual scene from the show itself.
Yeah.
It's just like so good. Like that's going back to the solo conversation. That's why I love it, because it's like it's showing a different side of this universe that we've grown to love. From the Skywalker saga. But it's showing a different perspective as far as outside Jedi and outside of, like the. I mean, it still kind of follows. I mean, the Empire still has a looming presence.
Yeah, because again, I forget how far off this takes place from Return of the Jedi, because I know The Force Awakens is almost 30 years after Return of the Jedi, after the fall of the Empire. I want to say maybe this is like 10 years after the fall of the Empire.
I mean, so
it's even still in between where
But just kind of watching the trailer, you get a sense that the Empire is still around, and this Mandalorian, he's just collecting bounties, and except this, from the scene I watched, like they're saying like, oh, they're
collecting bounties,
like
on the remaining generals of the Empire. Ooh. Ooh,
this is like so juicy. I can't wait. And the thing is, like, we just got officially we've gotten one trailer, and that's all we go off of for the next 2 months or 3 months until we get the actual series.
Like 2.5 months.
2 months. Do you think we'll get another trailer? I mean, because I said it's November 12th. Do you think we'll get one more trailer? I don't think we will, because they waited this long to show us. We've known about this show for so long.
I would like another trailer,
but I'm okay if they don't give us one.
Not that I would like. I would be good with another trailer. I would be even better without it.
Mm-hmm.
Just to
not knowing anything.
Yeah, not knowing anything and just going into it and just like boom.
Especially because and it's been,
because I guarantee you, once Disney Plus comes out, I am in, baby. I'm getting that shit. I'm even considering getting that little package that they offer.
I'm about to tell you
the Disney Plus.
Oh wait, no. Okay, no, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN.
But I'm talking about there's a promo out there. If you pay so much money, you get Disney Plus for like 3 years.
Oh yeah, I think it's like 100.
It's a lot of money.
25?
I think 150. That's what I heard. Either way, but there's a promo.
It's between 120 and 150. But I mean, still, shit.
Yeah, that's for 3 years.
For 3 years, that's
for everything you're getting.
For everything you're getting, and everything that you're gonna get afterwards. 3 years. Think about it. It's 2019. It's gonna come out in 2019. You got 2020, 2021. And then
you have to renew in 2022.
In 2022,
in the fall,
and
or winter.
Between all that, we're
gonna get so many shows.
Oh, you're getting The Mandalorian. Then you're gonna get the
all the MCU
what's the Diego de Luna one?
Cassian Andor.
Cassian Andor.
Obi-Wan,
and then from the MCU, you're getting Loki, Hawkeye. Falcon and
Winter Soldier, Scarlet Vision,
and then the other three that they just announced: Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and
Miss Marvel, not Captain Marvel.
Not Captain Marvel, not the Brie Larson Captain Marvel. It's a whole different character, and She-Hulk.
Yeah,
Lady and the Tramp.
Noelle,
and the whole. Disney Library as well.
Yeah.
Come on. That is freaking worth it, dude. Yes, hell yeah. But I think I'm still only going to do the monthly. Yeah. I can't. Because even if it's 100, yeah.
But one last thing.
Even though I pay 100 a year for Amazon, but.
Oh, yeah, pay yearly?
Yeah.
That's good. But one last thing about The Mandalorian, a good thing about it is that it was announced this week or this past weekend at D23 that it's going to be a released weekly. So it's not it's not like all at one. Here's the whole season. It's going to be weekly.
I think all their shows are going to be weekly, which I'm cool with that because it keeps you with in touch with everything as opposed to boom you watch everything in one day and then. You talk about it and then you kind of forget about it unless you watch it over again.
Yeah, but also it's a good marketing strategy because it's weekly. You watch the one, I gotta pay my other month to get the other one. To get the whatever. It's a good marketing strategy. Disney knows what they're doing.
Hulu does the same thing, but that's also Disney. Who else does that? I think the only two that release everything,
DC.
Well, DC, yeah, DC does it, and that's not Disney owned.
Yeah,
that's Paramount. Warner Brothers. Sorry, yeah. Warner Brothers. Blech, brain fart.
So I said we just watched that trailer not too long ago. But we really want to move on. As much as we could talk about The Mandalorian for days, we really want to move on because.
Well, hold on, dude. If you have not seen the Mandalorian trailer, go watch it. Dude, one of my favorite freaking parts on it is when he's in, I guess, the little cantina or whatever, and he's he's
collecting his bounty.
I guess collecting his bounty, and then he freaking one of them's trying to run out. He shoots and then grabs him and then shoots the door and it's closing while he's dragging him. I'm like, oh, ah! I was just oh man.
So one thing we're gonna do right now, we're gonna move on. Obviously, one of the biggest trailers that came out. And it's not, it's a trailer, but it was put out as a quote-unquote first look, which is The Rise of Skywalker. What we're going to do right now, we've both seen the trailer many times, but we're going to watch it right now. And and we're gonna, obviously we're gonna put it right here as our reaction is going.
And we hope you're gonna watch it with us.
Yeah. Like I said, we've both seen it, but we just want to see it again because it's just so awesome.
Because there's so much going on, and we're gonna get into this heavily.
This is gonna be the last topic of the show, so whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah. This was released during D23.
And then it got released to the public on Monday.
Dude,
what a pleasant surprise.
Which was what?
August Monday.
It was an August Monday. Let me give you a date here real quick just so that you know.
August 24th?
26.
26, okay.
We're gonna watch, and we'll view it for you guys. We'll display it for you guys as well. It's gonna be the
this is our version of a trailer reaction.
What did you say? The final trailer? Do you think this is the final trailer?
Nah, not even close.
I think we're gonna get one more trailer during football season when tickets go release. But here's the official trailer for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Here we go.
Dude, I first saw this and I was like, oh god, I'm gonna get teary-eyed. Hello there.
I kind of almost thought it was like fake because of all the old footage they're showing, but I was like, oh wait, that's pretty cool. But I like that they showed the original footage,
and then going to prequels. I kind of like in the order we got them.
They go into prequels.
I love when they show Lando because it just so good. They show the Emperor, then show Lando.
We've passed on all we know. 1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight.
It's kind of crazy how far we've come.
Yes, it's him.
What the hell?
Dude. You know what was so satisfying is that I guess when this was showed at D23, like just the amount of like tweets and like videos, people who were there saying like Rey has a double bladed red lightsaber. What the heck? I'm like, what? Like I gotta see this. I was searching like for leaked footage. I needed to see it. I'm like, it's nowhere. No one has recorded it. And then like I said, Monday when it finally got released, I'm like, holy shit! And here come the rumor mill just coming in, dude. And I mean, I want to give a shout out to Christian Harloff and the crew at Collider Live. One of our favorite podcasts. We listen to almost every single day of the week. He's one of the biggest Star Wars fans, and he kind of put out there a theory.
He kind of put in a big theory, and I was like,
it makes them
all right.
So I mean, right off the back, when you first saw this trailer for the very first time, before you heard the podcast, before you heard Christian's theory, what was your thought?
Okay,
about that whole with the last part.
I mean, dude, the whole trailer itself was
emotional
amazing,
roller coaster.
So yes, emotional roller coaster. I can't tell you how I am gonna be when I actually go see the movie. And I already told you.
Yes, I'll give you your money. Give you the money.
Give me your money now, so that way once the tickets go on sale, I'm just gonna straight up order them. We are gonna go watch that shit IMAX. I don't give a F. We are gonna go watch that shit IMAX. Dude, seeing Rey with the double bladed lightsaber and then boom, turning it into a staff, I was like, oh! I was like, oh my god.
But like after
But my theory, or not my theory, but my initial first thought was like, okay, they obviously showed this for a reason. This has to be a vision, vision. That was my first thought. Since then, there has been a lot of theories that have come out. Again, like you said,
have changed your mind.
our favorite, host from Collider Live, one of our favorite hosts from Collider Live, Christian Harloff, gave out a big theory that made so much sense and kind of threw me on board. But I'm still going with my vision theory.
Vision.
Yeah, I'm still going with vision.
See, the thing is, like, because he even says in his podcast, and I totally agree with him, and I'll be so, and I kind of wish he never said it, because like I would be so disappointed if it was a vision. That it's just lazy. Like, we've come so far, and it's J.J. Abrams now. Like, J.J. Abrams, yeah, I get the whole Ryan Johnson debate. Like, oh, he kind of ruined shit. But at the same time, if they go the route that Christian Harloff said, like, the whole Ryan Johnson thing isn't wasted away no more. Like, it kind of makes sense in a weird way.
One pinnacle scene for me, yes. But where she had her little vision and she saw
that's why
where she saw a whole bunch of herself.
After I watched his trailer and heard his theory,
but I still think who was the director again?
Ryan Johnson.
I still think Ryan Johnson was just straight up just destroying The Force Awakens.
When you say destroy, he wasn't intentionally destroying. He may have not cared of what was okay. I'm just gonna I'm gonna do something different, do something edgy.
What I think when I say destroy, that he was destroying because everyone, I love The Force Awakens more than The Last Jedi, and even though a lot of people were complaining and saying oh, it's just a remake of A New Hope, because it's got a lot of similar things, the desert, Luke Skywalker being in the desert, Rey being in the desert, the Death Star, and then you got the what they call it, the whole planet that
Jakku and Tatooine.
No. That the New Order had
Starkiller Base.
Yeah, Starkiller Base, and
Schmodown.
and then Ryan Johnson coming in and just being no, I'm not gonna do Empire Strikes Back, because that's what everyone was thinking that he was gonna. It was just gonna be but
yeah, I really hope that this movie kind of
which he kind of did.
I really hope this movie kind of
with the.
I really hope I really hope this movie just kind of takes not only everything from Force Awakens, but stuff from The Last Jedi, and makes it okay, you know what, maybe Last Jedi isn't so bad. Yeah, it's completely different, and it may have seemed off the rails at the time.
I definitely could have done without the whole casino planet too.
Yeah, there is stuff in The Last Jedi I could have done without. Like I said, I still enjoy the movie. There are stuff that I'm just it kind of turns me off about it. But like I said, if this new Rise of Skywalker theory, which I'm gonna put out there for you guys, and if you want more context, go to Collider Live. Go to Collider Live, their YouTube channel. And there's a video where they talk about the last. They talk about the Rise of Skywalker trailer. In that video, as Christian Harloff gives his theory, I highly suggest you go check it out. If you're a big Star Wars fan like we are, go check it out. But in a nutshell, his theory is that the Rey that we see in this Rise of Skywalker trailer, who has a double-A lightsaber, is a clone, and that the Rey that we've been following this whole series is in fact a clone. Which is why the Emperor is back, because the Emperor has been making this clone out of Anakin, out of Luke, just kind of making this clone, and and like I said, go watch that video. I highly suggest I can't do it justice by just talking about it here. I really suggest you go and check it out, because it really kind of opened my eyes to what may have been, and it kind of it makes the most sense out of anything. I really hope it's not a vision. Like I said, because again, like Christian said, it just seems too lazy.
Really lazy. Yeah, and and like I said, that's why I kind of bought into what he was saying.
And the
because,
thing is,
because even though, like I said, like I'm going with my vision theory, but yeah, I do totally agree that it would be just straight on lazy just for the whole this whole saga to just fall on that.
yeah, yeah. I like not so much fall on that, but just like, oh, here's a quick vision of Rey seeing herself at the dark side. Like, no, like you've had to brought Palpatine back for a reason. And like at first, like when I first heard clone, I'm like, oh, clones. But I'm like, wait,
He mentions the clones.
there's clones in Star Wars. There's a whole clone army in Attack of the Clones. That's what the Stormtroopers were first. Originally, they were clones. There are clones in this universe. It's possible. Palpatine has been that being that, been able to bring things back to life, whether it be himself or try to be someone else, like he has that power. He has that, he's in touch to that level of the dark side to where he's able to do some sinister shit. And, I'm hoping that this pans out the way that it is. That that fight that we see Kylo Ren and Rey fighting is just a pre-fight, and then Rey goes into the dark to the Death Star, and she sees like maybe a ghost of Palpatine or Palpatine's ghost, and then she confronts her evil clone, and that's a fight. Like, oh my god. That'll probably, that'll be, like people are like, oh no, a clone, like, that just kind of diminishes the Rey's character as, because she's been so inspiring. No, like if she goes and fights her clone, her evil clone, and learns to be her own self, that's just as inspiring as, her being just, like, because she came from nothing to this, the clone came from nothing to this, but she's still her own person. Let that pan out, like, like just let it be, and I really hope that's where it goes. I'm trying not to. I'm really, really trying not to like invest too much in this theory, because I did the same thing for Last Jedi. I kind of like, I kind of like subscribed to these theories, and then when it kind of didn't pan out, I'm like, oh.
One of the big things that's gonna make me really cry is knowing that all the
Carrie Fisher.
yeah, I was gonna say, but all the additional footage that they didn't use, that they used for this to feature Carrie Fisher. I mean, I think that's gonna be a big emotional thing. Another thing I was gonna say too was that I would have been more pissed off with Rian Johnson from The Last Jedi as a really slap in the face if he did not use John Williams for the score of the Star Wars. But he did. That's what I was checking, and he did. and John Williams is also going to be doing the score
this is his last one?
for Rise of Skywalker.
This is his last Star Wars movie he's doing. It's real bittersweet. Not only are we getting the final chapter of the Skywalker saga, John Williams' last score, it's gonna be, and even Daisy Ridley said, like she's not coming back.
No, it's not gonna be his last score, but it's gonna be his last score for
Star
Wars,
yeah.
And it's gonna be so amazing.
So we'll quick, real fast, because I know we're running out of time.
We got 5 minutes.
3PO Red Eyes. Is it just Disney trying to sell more toys, or is he going the dark side?
The dark side. What was I know that this was featured in the
comic.
in the comics, or in a comic.
In a comic, there was a droid that's the same model as C-3PO,
who was evil.
This one, it looks like a C-3PO. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Honestly, and everybody's been saying it. It's just Disney's trying to sell more toys.
Or this could also just be another C-3PO that they wiped out.
But
because it's not the first time that they've wiped his.
And it's not the same 3PO model we've seen, because there's been other ones,
Yeah.
Like in Phantom Menace.
In The Last Jedi, he had both arms
gold,
right?
Yeah,
because I know in The Force Awakens he was like They don't recognize me because I got this red arm.
And that's another example of Disney just trying to sell toys, which is, God, dude, they're so evil, but I love them.
Evil, but I love them.
They're the Empire.
Love you guys.
But God, I mean, I cannot wait for this movie. My excitement for the movie just skyrocketed once I heard all this rumors, and then when I saw the trailer. I mean, make fun of me if you will. I love Star Wars. I mean, you guys saw me cry when I watched Endgame. I don't give a shit. Like, you know, it's.
I think you're gonna see me cry because, dude, Star Wars is always been my thing.
He bought it when he was younger, and that's how I watched it.
I have loved
the
Star
VHS.
Wars since the first Star Wars movie I had ever watched on VHS was
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, and then I saw the first two, and I instantly fell in love. And then when the prequels came out, when I was in grade school or middle school, I was so excited for it. But then, you know,
Right?
but I still love them. I still love them.
What's the Trade Federation?
I still love. Yeah, I was like, what the what?
Viceroy.
But I mean, I still love them, and I knew what they were going for. Just wasn't expecting.
I mean, come on,
emo Anakin, but
that
whatever.
that Darth Maul
and
fight.
then 30 years. I mean, well, not 30 years later, but like what, almost 20 years later.
How old are you?
Well, I mean, the Star Wars, the Force Awakens takes 30 years, but when Star Wars came out, the Force Awakens, I was super excited, and
It didn't disappoint.
We just saw that. I
Yeah.
mean, saw that shit IMAX, and good. But
Okay, guys, we are running on fumes right now.
we
with
are
our
on
minutes.
fumes right now. We
Um,
need to sign out.
Check out all these trailers. Check out episode 28, volume 1 and 2. Steven worked so hard on those episodes. You know that we lost the audio, but he recovered it. So go check him out just for that. If you know, show your support. This guy worked so hard on it. Check it out. Check out Freetail OktoberFiesta if you haven't already. And once again, thank you. Like I said, it's been a year. Matthew couldn't be here. Ernest couldn't be here, but we are still here. And they are still here. We're gonna be doing episodes. With rotating guests.
We got a lot more stuff coming up.
More brewery tours.
Be sure to just follow us on our social medias.
Mainly Instagram and Facebook. We are on Twitter. We're not so active on there, but we will post stuff on there. Share with your friends. Share with your family. Share with everybody. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play. And like I said, thank you so much for everything. Check out all the beers we feature, tag, everything. Guys, thank you so much. And till next time, I'm Eddie. This is Steven. See you guys later.